And it's interesting. Throughout the day, I have these thoughts, I have these things that come to my mind, and I want to share them and get them out. So why not do more live presentations? We talked about this today, these 5 sources of inspiration in our men's community, in men's marriage and fatherhood, which every single day we do impactful lessons in the community. And then we have different challenges set up as well. So I wanted to talk this, and I wanted to share this with you guys because I think it's important. I think inspiration drives personal growth, and it drives action in our life. And I think all of us need a little bit of inspiration sometimes. And, with the fast-paced world that is going on so much, sometimes we don't have the inspiration. Sometimes we feel overwhelmed. Sometimes we feel distracted. Sometimes we get incredibly down because we spend too much time on social media, things like that. So I want to get through these 5 sources, and they work with each other, right? Each one really kind of takes you to the next source of inspiration perfectly. So number 1 is deciding. You have to decide that you want change, right? It's a big, huge point in your life when you say to yourself, enough is enough, and you actually change and you decide to head in a new direction. It's incredibly important. I think that's one of the benefits that we have as human beings, that we can decide that we can, if we're heading down a certain path, maybe in our career, in our marriage, in our health, we can make a difference, and we can decide to change things. And that's one of the big things. So understand that when you decide, it boosts your self-esteem, it opens up new opportunities, and understand that indecision inhibits your growth. Indecision keeps doors closed. So number 1 is deciding. That's a powerful source of inspiration. Number 2 is planning. So when you decide whatever it is that you're going to change, and then you take down what's in your mind and you put it down on a piece of paper or write it in your phone or whatever it may be, that's inspiring. And it really transforms what you decided on into clear, actionable direction. And it really creates excitement, right? It's incredibly important that you get that. It's almost like, and this is a different way to look at it as well. Like sometimes we decide to grow and to change and to make these decisions in our life. But what we do is then we go to Amazon and we order a book, and then we get the book, and that makes us feel a little bit better, right? So that's the deciding the change. You plan, you order the book, you order the guide to help you. But that's not enough, right? But that's where a lot of people stop. So this leads us to our 3rd source of inspiration. That's beginning. It's when you start to turn those ideas into action. And when you do that, you boost your momentum, you boost your self-esteem. And it gives you those first couple steps, it gives you that sense of direction and purpose. And that does inspire you, right? Beginning inspires through action and progress. So when you decide, and then when you plan, and then when you begin, that's a huge thing. And all these little things, see how I'm saying it? They work with each other, and they give you that little inspiration to keep going. Now, the 4th source of inspiration, once you decided, then you plan, then you're beginning, is progression, right? That's incredibly, because when you start to see a little bit of results, that gives you a little bit more inspiration to keep going. Now, it fuels that momentum. It prevents you a little bit from going back to old habits. Now, listen, if there's something, for example, in your health, and you haven't been working out and you haven't been doing anything for a while, that progress may take a little longer for you to see. But let's say it's something like you want to be a better dad, and your kids are maybe between 5 and 10 or whatever, and you decide, I'm going to be a better dad. And next week on Monday, I'm going to tell them stories every night before we go to bed. We're going to get in bed. I'm going to tell them a make-believe story, and it's going to be a great time. That's something that you can immediately see progress, right? Because the kids are going to be excited on Monday, and then they're going to be asking like, hey, Dad, are we going to be doing it again on Tuesday? And you immediately see that change. So you have to understand, depending on what it is that you're changing, depending on what it is you're beginning in your life, the progress may take a little bit longer to see, but it's going to happen if you stay with it And if you continue, too many people stop and start, right? You stop, then a lot of times you eliminate all that progress, and that doesn't give you the inspiration to keep going, right? So you have to understand that you have to stay consistent with it. Your consistency, gaining that momentum, will give you that progress, which will be that source of inspiration. Now, the fifth one is achieving. It's when your efforts are validated, right? When your goal is reached, whatever you decided on, once it's reached, that gives you the confidence to then go ahead and inspires you to set other goals, to possibly make other changes. So it really confirms your ability to succeed in what you say that you're going to do, what you decide to do. It affirms the ability that you can plan. It affirms the ability that you will start and that you will stay consistent with it. So when you achieve that, it gives you that inspiration to maybe do it again. You want to be a better dad, so you decide to make that choice with your kids. Now, okay, what else do I need to do? What else can I adjust on? And that may be something in your marriage, it may be something in your health, in your business. And that inspiration, if you're able to do that, it gives you the ability to want to change more. So number 1, deciding. Number 2, planning. Number 3, beginning. Number 4, progressing. And number 5, achieving. The 5 sources of inspiration. And really, inspiration, like I said, is found at each stage of that. So look at your life, guys, and really decide, what needs to happen. I mean, for me, there's always adjusting. There's always growth. I love the idea that, you don't have to be so much goal orientated, but growth orientated. And I love that John Maxwell talked about that, because then what we can do is we can continue to grow our whole life, which is amazing. And it's important, myself being in a marriage, having 4 kids, trying to provide for the family, different things like that, sharing this, I have to grow, right? And it's a neat thing to do that. And one of the things that we need to be aware of are there are going to be challenges. So understanding how we can create inspiration in our life to be better despite the hard things that come in, despite all the distractions, is incredibly important. So thanks, guys. I appreciate you watching this, and hopefully I will see you tomorrow. Have a good day.